fourth graders. Thanks for joining me today for math. Today, we're still working with our penny jar situations. It's just going to look a little bit different today. Let me pull up my screen to share with you today's activity. So, as you can see, we have a penny jar table. The only difference is that the focus today is on the rules, and there's now this calculation box. That's where you're going to come up with a formula or a rule to calculate the total number of pennies. So for this example, I am going to start with 3 pennies, and I'm going to add 5 pennies each round. So first question is, how many pennies are in the jar after 5 rounds? Right off the bat, I'm going to put a 3 here for my number of pennies I start with. And then I'm going to add my 5 pennies for each round. Let me just make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds, 5 pennies each round. What I did was add 5 pennies for each round, and I did that for 5 rounds. So, hey, wait, that sounds like a multiplication problem. So let me simplify this down, because we could use repeated addition, but it would probably take us a lot longer to solve. So simplifying it down to say, hey, we can start with our 3. We're going to add, what are we going to add? Well, we did 5 rounds, which is our number of groups. And for each round, we put in 5 pennies, and that's how many are in each round. So you can see that I've taken the repeated addition and simplified it to a multiplication and addition problem. So when I go to figure out my answer for this, I know that 5 times 5 equals 25. And then I add my 3 pennies that I started with. So my answer is 28. So after 5 rounds, these are my rules. I have 2. I could use either one of them to find my answer. So using these types of rules, now I need to find out how many pennies will be in the jar after 10 rounds. So again, I'm going to start with the 3 pennies in the jar. Now I can add 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, 10 times, or we could use this new simplified rule, since we know we can simplify the repeated addition into a multiplication problem. I could say 3 pennies plus 10 rounds with 5 pennies in each round. That will also give me my answer. So when I multiply 10 times 5, I know that equals 50, and then I add 3, so that my answer should be 53. So I want you to look for any other patterns that you notice here. Specifically, I want you to look at the number of rounds. When we counted up our 5 rounds, all we did was double to get to 10 rounds. So in my mind, I'm thinking, well, if it's just doubles, can't I just double this number? That's what I'm thinking, but I need to test if it works. I know my answer already, which is 53. So if I double 28, would I get 53? No. Nope. In fact, I would get 56, which is more than 53. So why did that not work if I just doubled the number of rounds? Why doesn't it work if I just double 28? Well, if I go back and look right here, not only did I double this, but I also doubled the 3 that I started with. So if I double the total number, I'm also doubling the number I started with. So instead of adding 3 at the beginning, when I doubled it, I'm adding 6 at the beginning. One way to solve this, let's say that I use 56. I could minus that extra 3 that I added. Will that give me 53? Sure will. So I could use that strategy as well, knowing that if I doubled this answer, I just have to remember to go back and subtract whatever number I doubled at the start or at the beginning. You could also look at this problem, whoops, sorry, you could also look at this portion and just double this. I just have to double 25, which equals 50, and then I add the 3 to start with. So your job today is to keep these strategies in mind as you're working on today's penny jar table. You're going to solve problems like this, except you're going to have to do more than just 5 and 10 rounds. You'll have to find 15 and 20 rounds as well. And there's just a few questions after that to help you reflect on your rules to see if certain rules will work or will not work. So that's it for today. Make sure you stop by my office hours from 10:30 to 11:10 today if you have any questions or you just want to stop by and say hello. All right, kids, have a great day. Bye-bye.